Welcome to Anime Chronicles, the channel where we bring to life the full story of every anime character and beyond. Today we're diving deep into the waters with Blastoise, the mighty final evolution of Squirtle and one of the most iconic Pokémon in the entire franchise. Known for its towering shell, devastating hydro cannons, and commanding presence, Blastoise has made a huge impact across anime, manga, and video games alike. From its fierce battles and legendary trainer partnerships to its role as a symbol of strength and strategy, Blastoise has earned its place as one of the most unforgettable water types in Pokémon history. We'll explore its origins, unique abilities, famous appearances, and the lasting legacy that turned this colossal turtle into a fan-favorite powerhouse. If you love uncovering the stories and legacies of your favorite Pokémon, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us on this deep dive into the world of anime and Pokémon. Blastoise, the final evolution of Squirtle and Wartortle, is one of the most iconic Pokémon of the original Kanto region. Known as Pokédex Girarzozo 9, it has stood as a symbol of strength, strategy, and water-based power since its introduction in Pokémon Red and Blue, 1996 in Japan, 1998 internationally. Blastoise's design immediately set it apart from other Pokémon, embodying a unique blend of animal inspiration, fantasy, and mechanical influence. At its core, Blastoise resembles a large turtle, but unlike real-world turtles, it is upright, massive, and muscular. Standing at 1.6 meters, 5'3", and weighing 85.5 kilograms, 188 lbs, Blastoise commands a presence both in lore and gameplay. What truly defines it, however, are the dual hydro cannons mounted on its shell, which serve as both a weapon and a defining visual feature. These cannons were designed to spray pressurized water with extreme force, giving Blastoise offensive power unlike anything in nature. Blastoise's Japanese name, Kamex, Kametsukusu, comes from kame, turtle, and maximum explosion, emphasizing destructive water power. In English, the name Blastoise is a combination of blast, explosive force, and tortoise, making its role as a heavy artillery Pokémon clear. Interestingly, Blastoise's original beta design was bulkier and even more mechanical with visible tank-like features. This shows how Game Freak considered pushing the design toward a war machine aesthetic before settling on the balance between creature and weapon we know today. Culturally, Blastoise became the mascot for Pokémon Blue version in Japan, while Charizard represented Pokémon Red. This cemented the rivalry between Blastoise and Charizard in Pokémon history. Where Charizard symbolized fiery aggression, Blastoise embodied stoic defense and overwhelming water power. Fans quickly associated the two as opposites, and debates over which starter line was stronger became legendary within the early Pokémon community. Even in its earliest concept art, Blastoise was meant to feel like a living fortress. Its wide shell, thick arms, and cannons weren't just for show. They reflected its role as a final stage starter designed for endurance and dominance. This would later influence how it was portrayed in both games and anime, not only as a powerful fighter, but as a reliable guardian and protector. Blastoise also introduced the concept of a weaponized Pokémon, a creature whose biology incorporated mechanical features. The hydro cannons sparked countless fan theories over the years. Were they natural extensions of its shell or artificial modifications? While the games and anime portray them as natural, their metallic appearance has always given Blastoise a unique mystique. Thus, Blastoise wasn't just another final evolution. It was a statement Pokémon, one that set the standard for how starter evolutions would balance animal inspiration with fantastical exaggeration. Its design influenced later water starters like Feraligatr, Swampert, and Empoleon. But none carried the same blend of creature and machine as Blastoise. Blastoise's origins in design, lore, and symbolism mark it as one of the cornerstones of the franchise. But its legacy truly began when it entered the spotlight. through the anime, the manga, and of course, the games that defined an era. Blastoise has played a significant role in the Pokémon anime, standing as one of the most iconic, fully evolved starters in the franchise. Unlike Squirtle, which was often portrayed with a comedic and playful personality, Blastoise was usually represented as a majestic, disciplined, and commanding Pokémon, a clear symbol of growth and maturity after its evolutionary journey. One of the earliest and most notable appearances of Blastoise in the anime came in episode 60, Beach Blank Out Blastoise. Here, an entire island of Squirtle and Wartortle lives under the leadership of a Blastoise. This portrayal cemented Blastoise as a natural leader figure, wise, respected, and responsible for the well-being of its community. In this episode, however, Blastoise faced a crisis when a Jigglypuff got stuck in its water cannon, causing it to fall into a deep sleep. The storyline emphasized Blastoise's strength, but also highlighted its vulnerabilities, showing that even the mightiest Pokémon could need help. Blastoise has also appeared in many of the Pokémon movies. For instance, in Pokémon, the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back, one of the cloned Pokémon created by Mewtwo was a Blastoise, pitted against Ash's Charizard in an intense battle. The scene not only showcased the rivalry between starters, but also cemented Blastoise's reputation as a fearsome opponent, with its water cannons blasting powerful hydro pumps against Charizard's fiery attacks. This moment helped establish Blastoise as a true rival to Charizard, two Pokémon often compared due to their parallel roles as Kanto starters. Another memorable appearance came in Pokémon, the Johto Journeys, where a trainer named Nisha owned a Blastoise, highlighting that even beyond Ash's circle, many trainers across the world recognized its power. Blastoise was also featured in Pokémon Chronicles, Advanced Generation, and later in Pokémon Journeys, proving its relevance across multiple eras of the anime. Perhaps one of the most emotional appearances was Gary Oak's Blastoise, which debuted in the Johto League. After his Squirtle evolved fully, Gary's Blastoise became a central part of his competitive team, symbolizing not just raw power, but also Gary's growth as a rival. The battle between Ash's Charizard and Gary's Blastoise remains a legendary clash, remembered by fans as one of the most intense rivalries in the series. The fight beautifully encapsulated the contrast between fire and water, aerial speed versus sturdy defense, passion versus discipline. Over the years, Blastoise's anime portrayals have emphasized strength, loyalty, and strategy. Unlike Charizard, which was sometimes rebellious, or Venusaur, which was portrayed more stoically, Blastoise balanced intimidation with grace. Its presence reminded viewers that evolution was not just about becoming stronger, but also about earning respect and leadership. While the anime gave Blastoise an aura of majesty and leadership, the Pokémon Adventures manga offered a deeper, more action-packed exploration of its abilities. The manga is known for its more serious tone and detailed battle strategies, and Blastoise thrived in this environment. In Pokémon Adventures, Blastoise is often associated with Blue, Gary's manga counterpart, who chooses Squirtle as his starter. Over time, Squirtle evolves into Blastoise, and it becomes one of the cornerstones of Blue's team. Blue's Blastoise isn't just a powerhouse, it's depicted as highly tactical, using its water cannons with precision to exploit opponents' weaknesses. The manga highlights Blastoise's immense accuracy, with jets of water capable of cutting through solid rock or piercing armor-like defenses. Blastoise also appears in story arcs involving the Elite Four and the Pokémon League, where its sheer power is showcased in battles that feel far more dangerous than those seen in the anime. The manga portrays Pokémon battles as life-or-death encounters, and Blastoise's role in these arcs elevated its reputation as a Pokémon that could turn the tide of combat with overwhelming force. One striking difference between the manga and the anime is the darker portrayal of Blastoise's destructive potential. In several arcs, Its hydro pump is described as capable of devastating landscapes, reflecting the kind of military-style imagery its tank-like design suggests. The cannons are shown not merely as aesthetic features, but as lethal artillery weapons. Additionally, the manga often emphasizes the strategic role of Blastoise in multi-Pokémon battles. It's not just about raw power, it's about Blastoise providing cover fire, controlling the battlefield with floods of water, or even using its bulk to shield allies. This reinforced the idea of Blastoise as both an offensive and defensive powerhouse. Through the manga, fans saw a version of Blastoise that was both awe-inspiring and terrifying, capturing the essence of why it stood alongside Charizard and Venusaur as one of Kanto's greatest. Blastoise's journey in the Pokémon games spans decades, from its debut in Pokémon Red and Blue, 1996, to its presence in modern titles like Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. As the final evolution of Squirtle, it has consistently been a popular choice among trainers who value defense, special attack, and utility. In the early generations, Blastoise was often used as a bulky tank, capable of absorbing hits while retaliating with powerful water-type moves like Surf and Hydro Pump. While it was not always as offensively dominant as Charizard, Blastoise provided stability to any team. Its design, a turtle with cannons, perfectly reflected its in-game role. Slow, sturdy, and devastating at the right moment. Blastoise's popularity only grew with the release of Pokémon Stadium for the Nintendo 64, where its 3D model and animations brought the water cannons to life for the first time. Fans could finally watch Blastoise unleash its hydro pump in stunning detail, a sight that defined many childhood memories. In competitive battling, Blastoise found renewed relevance with the introduction of new mechanics, the release of its Mega evolution in Generation 6, Pokémon X and Y, was a turning point. Mega Blastoise gained the ability Mega Launcher, which boosted the power of aura-based moves like Aura Sphere, Dark Pulse, and Water Pulse. This transformed Blastoise from a defensive wall into an offensive powerhouse, capable of breaking through even the toughest opponents. Mega Blastoise quickly became a fan-favorite competitive pick, praised for both its design and its raw versatility. Blastoise also gained fame in various spin-offs. In Pokémon Mystery Dungeon, it was portrayed as a brave and commanding figure, often leading rescue teams. In Pokémon Snap, players could photograph Blastoise blasting water jets in spectacular fashion. In Pokémon Unite, Blastoise became a playable character with a defensive tank role, perfectly matching its traditional image. Blastoise's presence across generations of games reinforces its status as a Pokémon that represents longevity and adaptability. Whether as a defensive wall in Generation 1 or an offensive cannon in Generation 6, Blastoise has remained relevant for nearly 30 years. Blastoise's legacy extends far beyond battles and evolutions. It is one of the most recognizable Pokémon worldwide, symbolizing not only power but also maturity and discipline. While Squirtle is playful and Wartortle mischievous, Blastoise embodies the ultimate stage of responsibility, a true guardian figure. Here are some fascinating fun facts about Blastoise. Blastoise was almost designed with a different evolutionary path. Early concept art showed a turtle Pokémon with no cannons, resembling more of a dinosaur-turtle hybrid. The addition of the water cannons turned it into the tank Pokémon we know today. Its Japanese name, Kametsukusu, comes from Kame, turtle, and Max, emphasizing its status as the ultimate form of Squirtle. Blastoise has appeared on the cover art of Pokémon Blue, Japan, and Pokémon Red Blue, International, solidifying it as a mascot Pokémon alongside Charizard. In terms of merchandise, Blastoise has been featured in hundreds of action figures, plushies, and trading cards, including powerful holographic cards that remain collector favorites. Blastoise's rivalry with Charizard has been a recurring theme for decades. Many fans still debate which is the coolest final starter form. but Blastoise's loyal fan base continues to defend its place as the ultimate tank. Culturally, Blastoise has often been referenced in memes, fan art, and competitive discussions. Its design perfectly bridges real-world biology, a turtle, with a militaristic fantasy element, a living tank. This unique fusion ensures that it appeals to both casual fans and hardcore players. Ultimately, Blastoise represents more than just a Pokémon. It represents the completion of a journey. From the mischievous Squirtle to the disciplined Wartortle, the evolution into Blastoise is symbolic of growth, resilience, and leadership. For many trainers who chose Squirtle as their first starter, Blastoise remains a lifelong companion, a reminder of their first adventure through Kanto. Even today, as new generations of Pokémon are introduced, Blastoise's timeless design and enduring popularity ensure that it remains one of the most celebrated Pokémon of all time.